If you've been scrolling through endless specs, watching YouTube unbox videos, and still can't decide which 55-inch TV actually belongs in your living room, this review is here to clear that up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last week setting up a Samsung 55-inch The Frame in a few different homes, swapping out the custom sand-gold bezel, and watching a mix of family movies, sports nights, and a bit of streaming art. The goal was to see whether the hype around its art mode actually translates into everyday value, or if you're just paying a premium for a pretty picture frame. When you stand in front of a blank wall, the fear of buying the wrong TV is real. A screen that looks amazing in the showroom can end up glaring in a sunlit room, or feel out of place when you finally want to watch a game. The biggest risk with a TV that's marketed as a piece of decor is that the visual performance gets sacrificed for style, or that the installation becomes a nightmare. I wanted to test both angles. Does the frame keep its artistic intent without compromising the viewing experience, and is the quick and easy installation truly quick for the average homeowner? First, let's talk about what makes the frame different from a regular flat panel. The selling point is the magnetic, interchangeable bezel that lets you match the TV to your decor. I tried the sand-gold metal trim that comes with the 2023 model, and the effect is subtle but noticeable. It blends into a mid-century modern living room without shouting TV. The bezel snaps on and off with a soft click, and because it's magnetic there's no need for tools or screws once the wall mount is in place. That said, the magnetic connection does mean you have to be gentle when swapping bezels. A hard knock can disengage the magnets and leave a small gap. If you enjoy changing the look of a room often, the flexibility is a win, but you'll want to keep a spare bezel handy just in case. Picture quality is where Samsung really leans on its brand name. The unit uses a quantum matrix with mini LEDs, which spreads dimming zones across the screen more densely than a standard LED. In practice, that means deeper blacks when you dim the lights for a movie, and brighter highlights during a bright daytime scene. I watched a recent Marvel film and the HDR moments, especially the explosions, felt punchy without the halo effect you sometimes see on less sophisticated panels. The Neo-Quantum processor does an impressive job upscaling 1080p content to 4K, so even older Blu-ray discs looked sharper than they did on my old 1080p set. However, the anti-glare coating is more of a soft diffuse than a true matte finish, so if your living room gets direct sunlight for most of the day, you'll still notice a faint washout. The ultra-viewing angle holds up well. I could watch from the far side of a two-person sofa without color shift, which is a nice perk for families that spread out. Sound on a thin TV is often the Achilles heel, but Samsung packed Dolby Atmos and Object Tracking Sound Plus into this model. In a small to medium room, the built-in speakers filled the space with a surprisingly immersive feel. Dialogue stayed anchored to the screen, and directional effects in an action sequence seemed to move around you. I tried a cooking tutorial on a tablet nearby and the voice stayed clear, but if you're planning a big movie night with a full surround speaker setup, you'll probably still want an external soundbar. The smart platform is smooth. The TV automatically runs a quick calibration using the built-in sensor, adjusting brightness and color balance to the room's lighting. It's not a professional calibration, but it removes the guesswork for people who don't want to tinker with picture settings. Installation is often the make-you-break factor for a new TV, especially one that advertises quick and easy mounting. The frame comes with a wall mount kit that bolts directly into the back of the panel, and the magnetic bezel slides over the mount without needing extra screws. I followed the included instructions, about 10 minutes of drilling and a few torque wrenches, and the TV hung straight out of the box. The only hiccup was the weight. At 55 inches the panel is heavier than a standard LED, so you need a sturdy stud anchor. If you're comfortable with a drill, the process feels genuinely quicker than a conventional TV where you have to attach a separate bracket and then lift the whole unit onto it. Who should buy this? If you're a design-focused homeowner who wants a television that doubles as a piece of art, the frame hits the sweet spot. It's especially appealing for people who display digital artwork or family photos when the TV is off. The art mode uses the same panel, so you get a true-to-life picture instead of a static poster. Small to medium living rooms, apartments, or even a hallway where a bulky TV would feel out of place benefit from the low-profile design and customizable bezel. The upscaling and HDR.